Light the incense, burn to be fragrant to scent. The whole house burn to the ground. This is roomy. Light the incense, burn to be fragrant to scent. The whole house burn to the ground. Yanuri Allahai. Yanuri Allahai.
Welcome, everyone. So good to see you again. From all across, wherever. And I wanted to show you, this is the, we'll start with this little invocation. The first was what we were singing, the light the incense, burn to be fragrant, to scent the whole house, burn to the ground. And that's Pir Jalaluddin Rumi. And then this is the one we're doing from Pir Inayat Khan. Mastery lies not merely in stilling the mind, but in directing it towards whatever point we desire, in allowing it to be active as far as we wish, in using it to fulfill our purpose.
Let's try that again. Mastery lies not merely in stilling the mind, but in directing it towards whatever point we desire, in allowing it to be active as far as we wish, and using it to fulfill our purpose.
And this is so in line with the cards that we're working with, because we're coming to the end of the tarot deck. We're up to the nines of the staves, which is also called the wands. And she has this wand in her hand, and she's lit it. So that's why I had to bring in the words of Jalaluddin Rumi, light the incense. She's lighting it as if it is an incense. And there is this sense in her of, when you reach the 9 of something, it's almost there. We're almost there. It's kind of like we've been climbing this mountain, or we've been coming in whatever way, shape, or form you have to some of these classes that we've been doing on the tarot and soul work. And we're almost to the top. We're to the 10. The 10 is the fulfillment, whether it's what we exactly wanted or it isn't. But it's still that achievement of we've finished. We have some kind of a sense of reaching the top of the mountain. And so this 9, in the 9 of staves, this is a woman who is really in touch with more of the fear of thinking maybe this is the time to stop. You can see there's all these corridors to go through yet. It's not like she's finished, but she's focused on trying to, you could say, get out the evil spirits, not letting herself burn as incense, not letting herself continue to move forward. She's a little stuck with this sense of the fear and the tiredness that can come after we've been on a path for a long time. So this is that part of us that really maybe first shows up as tiredness. And so in the other cards of the tarot, of the 9 of wands or 9 of staves, what we see is more of a tired person leaning on their staff. And in this one, she's out of the tiredness is not so much what's happening, it's what's behind the tiredness, which is that sense of, when we get tired, it's often because we feel like we're not sure we're going to make it. We're not sure if this is really the right path. What are we doing? We rethink things. We get worried. And so I really loved Rumi's words of light the incense, burn to be fragrant. So let it go internal. This whole piece of the fear and the weariness, and and wondering, is this really should I just stop now? We were on these hikes, and I can always feel that part of me that says, oh, should I just stop now? Maybe I don't need to go any farther. So that's what we're gonna contact today. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, the story that came up, I believe it actually is, and if there are any history buffs, William the Conqueror, he was exhausted. He tried twice to retake England or his throne or whatever it was, and he was about to give up. And he saw this little spider that had been knocked down and had tried a couple of times, and he said, if you make it up, little spider, I'll give it one more try. And the spider went up, and he did. So it's like, it could be we're in some study program for something, and we're there, I don't think I can really finish this, but we had that initial desire, we move forward. So it's that last stand, the last barrier, the last doubt, the last tiredness before we can channel our resources to push through. You see those runners in that last bit of the long distance running, can they push it out for that last little bit, or they say, I'm not going to win, and they just sort of collapse. I didn't really want that degree anyway, or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's a very potent card, I think. So we're going to start today with feeling into those bodies. If you're comfortable with standing, you can do that. And I really want you to we're going to welcome in, first of all, that as we're just standing here breathing, whatever this piece in our life may have been, whether it's connected to this class or what we might have hoped to get out of it, or whatever it happens to be, that there's maybe something in our lives that we've been moving towards, trying to get there. And we can feel that sense of maybe the tiredness, the exhaustion, or the fear that we're not going to get there. Why, there's something that's in the way, and so we might as well just give up. So just letting all those parts of us that both want to get to finish whatever it is that we originally wanted, and then the parts of us that just want to give up now, want to just stop. And we're going to especially let those parts know that are so tired that we're going to be with them today, and the ones that are afraid. So as we begin to breathe, and it really doesn't matter how you breathe your exhale, but to really let yourself breathe in through your nose on the inhale. And we're going to, as we breathe in through the nose and then we exhale, what we're going to do is on each inhale, we're going to stretch a little bit. Just a little bit, because you can feel that sense of how when we stretch, we yawn. There's that whole sense of tiredness when we let ourselves feel into the kind of a little bit of what it takes to really pull out of ourselves. So we're going to stretch out our whole bodies on that inhale. And then on the exhale, we're really going to just let it go down. Relax. Just be the way it is. So we're letting that one that's really tired just have its own way. Just let it feel itself with each exhale. And with each inhale, we're just going to feel into maybe the tiredness or the parts that feel sore and need to be attended to. And then we always, on that exhale, come back to just relaxing. And one more for the whole body. A whole body stretch. And a whole body just kind of letting go. And then we're going to start in with the head, and we're going to let the head and the neck stretch on the inhale. And letting it go on the exhale. And we're going to let the shoulders really stretch on the inhale. And letting them go on the exhale. And letting the shoulders and the arms really stretch on the inhale. And then letting them relax on the exhale again. And then this time all the way to the fingers, shoulders, hands, fingers. Stretching and then relaxing. And letting our upper chest really stretch and relax. Stretch with the inhale. Really relax on that exhale. And then our upper back, stretching on the inhale, relaxing on the exhale. And our mid-torso, let it stretch out from all the area of the ribs, and then letting it relax. And then the back too. Back stretching out. I really enjoy that relaxation of the nothing to do, nowhere to go. And let's just take a breath again to relax. To let ourselves really just come into that place of letting go, feeling the tiredness or the weariness in our bodies. And then stretching out again with the hips. To one side, stretching with the inhale, and letting it just relax on the exhale. And the other side. When you inhale, and relaxing. And stretching forward with our hips, and letting it relax. And back. And stretching out your whole hips area on the inhale. And letting it relax. And stretching out your upper thighs. You can just really let the muscles stretch and relax. The other leg. You can bring it all the way up into the knee. All the way down to the toes, let them stretch and point. And relax. And our whole body again. Let the whole body all the way down to the toes stretch. Stretching out to the sides and to the front. And then finding that place inside that part of us in our body that feels tired. Whether it's our heads or our eyes, or maybe we feel tired and speaking up in our throat or our hearts, upper chest. Just find that area where you can feel that there's kind of a tiredness or a weariness. Maybe your muscles are really sore in that area. And so what I'd like you to do is breathe into that area and hold it with your hands. Maybe it's your legs, but just let yourself hold it with your hands and breathing into it. Breathing back love to it with each exhale. Letting it know that you're there for it and you understand that it's maybe tired or weary, it's stretched, maybe it's pushed itself a lot. And then we begin to also let that part know we understand that there may be some fear underneath that. Maybe the fear of not going to be able to make it, of being resigned, That sense of like, I can't do it. Something's going to go wrong. And just continue to hold that part of yourself as you just recognize that there's all different feelings that can stop a person and start to make them feel really tired. And just holding that part. And as you hold that part, we're going to do a couple more breaths into that part, massaging it, touching it, however you'd like to just really let it know you're there. And we're going to let it know now that we're going to also begin to help it to know that we're here for it, and we want it to know that there is the energy to complete the goal, even though some part of it feels like there isn't. And we're going to begin to breathe in through the mouth, and we're going to sip that breath. A couple of breaths in through that mouth, and then just letting go again on that exhale. But as we sip that breath, we're going to just move up in our bodies. We can continue to hold wherever we're holding if it feels right. We're going to sit up with our mouths and let our feet come up on our toes. So we're just moving a little tiny bit, like we're bouncing, like the fear, like that energy of fear. We're letting this part know that we can also be with the fear. So we're bouncing up on the inhale as we sip, and then on the exhale we just kind of rock back to our heels, and we come back. We keep going back and forth between the kind of like the little jitteriness, the little shakiness of fear, and then just being with relaxing in and letting that fear come up into the whole legs. Really letting it shake. Again. Really feeling it now up into the pelvis. We can be with the fear, but we can also be with the energy, which is the fear is all this energy inside of us. Light of the incense. And now into the belly part. Letting it really shake up into the belly. And again. And all the way up into our heart and our upper chest. You might be letting, if it feels okay, you can let go of the area you were holding and let your whole body start to jiggle as we breathe in into our shoulders and letting go. Shoulders and arms this time. Into the neck and the head. And into the whole body. Letting the whole body shake a little bit on that inhale. And kind of falling back into that relaxation. And one more time. Letting that whole body begin to feel the energy that's in there now. And find any place that feels a little bit like it's too stiff again or it's really tired, and just go and hold it and let it shake on that inhale. I'm with you. We can still do this. And then on the exhale, just letting it relax. Don't be afraid. Find that conscious self that can just hold the energy. I'm here with you. We can be with this energy. And then gently letting your whole body begin to shake without any effort, just that kind of gentle trembling that's going through the whole body. As you breathe in, as you suck up a couple of times, sipping the air on the inhale, and then letting go, letting everything go to quiet in the body. And then everything just relaxes. One last breath, big sip. Let yourself shake. And then just really feel inside now your own light, that incense, that place of lighting the incense inside your heart. You can do it by breathing in with the fire breath and really feeling that sense of lighting, making a space of light in your heart. Light your own incense, burn to be fragrant. To scent the whole house, your whole being, this whole world, burn to the ground. Put everything into it. And let's get a seat so we can relax even more fully.
Just allowing your breath to flow in and out. Imagining your chest soft and porous, your heart center. Your breath, this beautiful breath, just flows in, nice rich full inhalation. Perhaps you can stay with the fire breath if you wish. And breathing out a rich full exhalation, just bringing your awareness, your attention to your heart and your heart center. Letting all the other selves know nothing to do, nowhere to go. You can ask them to just step aside or join you in this contemplation of the sacred space of the heart. So a little bit of the energy of that card. Can we, for 10 breaths or so, keep the awareness on the heart? We notice how it wanders away, other parts come in and pull us off in different directions, but we gently use that persistence to bring it back. And at some point, some cells might say, oh, it's really hard to train the mind. It's like that puppy, it keeps wandering off. I want to give up and just go into my default mode network and wander. But then you say, no, let's just try this. I think we can do this. That's our intention. Just to stay with this for another minute or so. Really, really making that effort to bring it back to the sacred space of the heart, inviting any selves to come into this space, and really having that attention to just do this for a minute or so more. Perhaps some self says that's too much, or I can't do this, or just sitting is too hard. It's like, oh, just bring it back. We'll just do a few more. I think we can do it for that minute, maybe minute and a half. And then just imagine the sun world dissolving, bathing in moonlight, dreaming while awake, and just opening to the sacred space of the heart today. In whatever shape or form, perhaps it's someplace you've been of nourishment, of love, of harmony, of beauty in the past, or from a dream, or someplace that you've read about, or someplace that you visited or want to go, someplace that's so beautiful, that's so nourishing, that can hold you. It can be this sacred container. And just spend a few moments to just wander, whether you see or feel or smell the fragrance or taste the air there or hear the sounds of this place. Just allowing yourself to just be in the sacred space of your heart, however it appears today. And really recognizing the moments when you're able to do that and hold that. Like in some of my Zen training, they basically, as I open to that place of awareness and you're sitting for maybe 23, 25 minutes between the walking meditation, the mind wanders and it was just counting to 10 and then back. And if you lost it, coming back, but it was developing this quality of persistence to keep on task, especially as we get close to the finish line. When that last resistance, the last barrier comes up that needs to marshal our resources. As we're just opening to this contemplation with all love and all respect, we call upon High Self, the angel of our being, our inner guide, spirit of guidance, to come into our hearts for a time of communion, a time of guidance, and a time of dialogue. And beginning by just communing, breathing in the fragrance, the essence, the presence of High Self, and breathing back love and gratitude, allowing an infinity loop to form. And perhaps when that opens, or perhaps the intent is just there and you're like Moinadine, who developed this iteration of soul work, who just stayed with it for 6 months before he really began to touch into his inner selves. I'm sure there's so many times, like in the card, he wanted to let go, give up, but he kept going. He kept that incense rising. He kept the fire, tending the fire of his intention and his persistence. And we open, beloved high self, when you're ready, using your time frame, using my voice as a guide. You may move faster or slower. But when you're ready, just asking, beloved high self, help me understand this card more deeply. Help me understand how I can keep going in those moments when I set those goals and I'm so close and some part wants to give up. How do I develop this quality of persistence, of patience, of perseverance? It can be so human, letting all the different selves know. It's so human when one of you doubts or stops or gets fearful. That comes up often as that torpor, as one of the hindrances in the Buddhist path of torpor, of that drowsiness, of wanting to draw back, of feeling I can't do it, that belief I can't push through to the end. Just letting them know that those selves are there. And we know that you're really important and we want to get to know you also. That really allowing some time, whether it's in your current life or in the past, when you had that goal, then you were moving towards it, and then as you got close to the end, there was that doubt, no, I can't do this, or I'm too tired, or underneath it's a little scary. Just picking one of those times, allowing one of those times, whether in your current life or in your past life. Think of something where you were going and at the end there's like, I don't know, I don't really know. That doubt came up. Just allowing one of those times to float into awareness. And feel the spark of that inspiration which moved you, which inspired you to move in this direction, and all the work of all the selves that put in to really experience that movement, because there's always a movement and there's always a resistance. But feeling the movement towards whatever this was, feeling that initial inspiration of fire, flame, and the persistence and all the effort you put in, really acknowledging that. And then welcoming in the one that has that doubts, that feels tired, that you have the I can, and then this one that sort of is believing I can't, or it's not worth it, or what was I thinking? Really welcoming this one in, that doubts, that pulls back, especially when we're close to the goal. Welcoming this one in and feeling this one in your body, if you can locate it somatically. And opening also to the feelings of this one, whether it's fear or discouragement or whatever. And the behavior that this one does this one collapse or lie down or fret or scatter? What does this one do? Or forget? And if there's aside from the body image, feeling that there's an image that comes with this one, if you can see it in your body. And whatever thoughts or beliefs this one has too. And then just bringing this quality of love and respect, of curiosity, of empathy, just noticing how you feel towards this one. And if it's anything other than that, asking those to step aside so you can really be there in your heart with this self. Take a moment to just send love, compassion to this one. And really opening, if you have a name, sharing that with me. And just open, just asking this part, whether it's through sensations, feelings, thoughts, memories, to just share anything they wish to share about themselves with you. Perhaps how old they are. And just asking when you're ready what they see as their job in this pulling back or whatever it is, what role they have in your psyche. Probably a protective part, but just what role they have, if they have a role, what they see their work as, their purpose. And what they're afraid would happen if they weren't doing this. And just opening to whatever else they'd like to share, especially if there are ways you can support them. Letting them know you're here, they're not alone. Anything else they wish to share, or how can you help them? How can you support them? Just asking, being open. And just bringing this light and love, this breath, inviting them to the breath of unity with you, with high self, just breathing light and love throughout this part in your body, nourishing, bathing this one in love, light, compassion. Inviting them to breathe with you, to be with you, with high self. And as you hold this one, also inviting opening to that inspiration, to this one that moves towards it, and holding this one that doubts towards the end, and the energy, the movement of whatever this action was in your life, just feeling both with love and compassion. Letting yourself really be conscious self, holding all the different selves, parts, energies inside, but especially these two of moving towards someone at that 9 and then that last minute exhaustion or tiredness, holding both, the one that draws back, that has his, her, they, them's reasons for holding back, and this one that has that inspiration, just feeling the richness of your soul, of your inner life. And really breathing with these two, with the breath of unity, letting that breath flow in and out. Just opening to any last minute communications from either this part that had this mission, the part that drew back, that gets tired, or high self. Just allowing any other information, especially appreciating you as this spiritual being on this human path with all this familiar human landscape of our personalities, of our psyches, of all the different parts inside. Nothing wrong, just the play of consciousness, the play of our existence. And with love and respect, we bring our soul work to a close. We will just bow down, Yanuri, bringing that light and love and warmth to all these cells and the inner world, and then Yanuri coming up to the light of the outer world. Yanuri. And taking a moment to sit and reflect on your inner journey, whatever happened or didn't happen, whatever your inner judge says should have happened, letting that push aside, just being curious about your experience. You joined us this morning or today, and reflecting on that like a dream. You could just do that silently, or you might want to stretch and do that, or jot a note and do that, or draw an image and do that, whatever way works best for you.